So Control Priest, right now I am 15-3 with this deck, and I know what you're thinking. Doesn't this lose to Control Warlock? Well, yes, but actually no. Control Warlock, if you keep cards that are your late game win conditions like Cthulhu Pieces, Ysera, and Malygos into Warlock, your win rate against that class will go up drastically. So just keep your win conditions so they don't get burned, because you know that Warlock isn't going to rush you down. And also, just in general, keeps against, not Warlock, Holy Smite, Renew, Insight, Thrive in the Shadows, Palm Reading, Venomous Scorpid, and maybe Hysteria if you're into like a Paladin or something. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I actually like this matchup a lot, Into the Warrior. Even though I think that sometimes it can be bad, having things like Shadow Word Death and Hysteria and just being able to out-survive the opponent is great. I mean, okay, so there are two main matchups this could be. This could be Control or Rush. If it's Rush, obviously it's the more likely one and it'll be harder. But having Shadow Word Death to kill pumped minions, Hysteria to have minions kill each other off, and Venomous Scorpid to discover spells will be really, really nice in the long run. I actually think that this game, or this matchup, is very winnable. I think the only matchup that you struggle against as a priest is Warlock. I will say that the weapons could be a problem, but I'm pretty sure I'll have enough healing to deal with it. I'll save the coin. I don't feel I need to use the coin right now. This game is trash now. Why watch the stream then? I mean, he could just watch the stream because he enjoys watching me. I know that there are at least a couple of people that have that as their case. Like, they quit the game, but they still like the content and like keeping up with the game at least a little bit. So they're like, yeah, I'll watch. I'll go with Palm Reading. It's super good here, actually. And even though I'm going to take a lot of damage, as long as I can, like, stay alive for a little bit, we'll be fine. Do I want to play this Venomous Scorpid first? I'm not sure. We'll see what he ends up playing. He's probably going to play, like, a Rush Minion or something, and then I'll just Hysteria. I'm in Stomping Warrior in this matchup. Like I said, I think the matchup is definitely very good for me, but not sure. Wait, do we just Hysteria this 110? Is that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? That'll just... Is that insane or no? Am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure that's just insane, right? Yeah, that works. I mean, you could say, oh no, you don't have Hysteria anymore, but you still have a Shadow Word Death to kill off something big, Holy Smite, Palm Reading to get me an extra spell or an extra card. That could be really good. I like watching you, but if you were playing, let's say, Warzone, I probably wouldn't watch because I don't care about COD anymore. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. I don't really play... Actually, I was going to say I don't really play TFT or League anymore, and I still watch those, but I definitely do still play both of those games. Do I want to play this and Palm Reading later? Or just Palm Reading now? We'll do this now. I mean, if I silence this minion, how bad is a 1/6 gonna be? I guess if he makes it bigger, like if he gives it Divine Shield and damage, it'll be more problematic. So what's the point of giving it Focused Will? We can just go with Holy Smite and kill it next turn anyway. Actually, we could just kill it this turn, honestly. Now let's just go Draconic Studies. All these are pretty solid. I think I like Malygos the most, though. Just because I like being able to draw cards, and then we'll play Palm Reading and a ton of stuff next turn. What if he slams Rattlegore? This deck doesn't run Rattlegore. That's the thing. The biggest two minions this deck runs are Alexstrasza and the Troublemakers. There we go. I was like, what's the other one? Yeah, Alexstrasza and Troublemakers are the only things I really have to worry about. Apotheosis is not bad. If I can get a minion to stick on the board like Blademaster Samuro. I'm looking at a deck list right now that got to rank 3 but doesn't run Apotheosis, and that's super weird to me. But like at the same time, Blademaster Samuro isn't running the deck either, and maybe it's just because he's a little inconsistent. I'm not sure. We get to play this and Palm Reading next turn. I'll go with Insight because I want to draw a card. Then we can Palm Reading. It'll corrupt this. Flash Heal's not bad. Holy Nova's decent, but I don't think it's really that good. I think I want to go with Flash Heal just so I can heal up a little bit at some point. Power Word Feast isn't the most important card. The only thing that I would want to take Power Word Feast for is if I do happen to get Blade Master Samuro, but I'm going to take Flash Heal because there's a chance I don't get it, right? Let me just go Holy Smite, pass. I don't even need to play Flash Heal right now. I kind of want to save it in case I draw Zarilla off of Insight. It's just to be safe and see what I draw. Is Ping Mage ever coming back? Ain't seen it since day one. I'm not sure, but there have been teases of buffs, or Blizzard has teased that they might do some buffs at some point, like in the near-ish future. So they might. They might buff that class and bring it back. Soul Mirror counters Rattlegore? Yeah, I mean it does, but I don't know. Insight, we get Zarilla, exactly what I was hoping for. This plus Flash Heal will be able to wipe basically anything, but for now it's just a 3-3 and I don't really care that much. I really don't care about it. I could coin out Malagos and then just like Flash Heal next turn. Unclear on what I want to do right now. We'll see what happens though. I might just want to Shadow Word Death that. I mean, just killing that off seems pretty good to me. You can kill that off, kill that with Holy Smite and just Hero Power and save Zarilla. Because I don't think Zarilla can wipe the board. That's 5, 7 damage. Yeah, we can't kill this. So we'll just go... Kill. Kill. And heal. Heal up every single turn that we can. Still save Zarilla. Back when we were in the early days of the expansion, I used to think Samuro and the +8/+8 Paladin buff was insane. I won a lot of games off of it. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, it's definitely actually not bad. Now that you mention that, I don't think that it's bad at all. That actually sounds pretty good. It takes a little bit of time to get to that point, obviously, but I think that it actually seems like a good play to me. I want to coin... I mean, worst case scenario, this kills off like one thing. Let's just do coin, Flash Heal into Malagos, and then we get to get a ton of things, and then hopefully we'll only use like one of them. That's fine. I don't want to overdraw, so let's just play this and kill off the 2/2 real quick. That way we don't overdraw. We already had a play that we wanted to do. It was either that or a Desperate Prayer if we got it. And now we can maybe put Apotheosis on the 4/12. We still have Renew Hero Power and all that. Wow, okay, you are just going right for the kill. Okay, fair enough, I guess. I just Shadow Word Death the 10/10 and significantly limited removal now. Shadow Word. We'll play a Taunt Minion and heal up once again, I guess. Not really needing to do anything else. We're just slowly waiting for him to run out of resources. Yo, Eager, what's up? Nothing much, my guy. Nothing much. You remember times when every new player says, no, Warlock dominates the meta after nerfs, Ticketus needs a nerf, but Warlock sucks against most popular decks, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about Ticketus anymore. I think that there are probably things that'll happen to the meta that'll keep Ticketus from being too problematic. I mean, and by that I mean I think other things will be buffed or Ticketus might get nerfed, because they did in a tweet say Ticketus will get nerfed if his play rate becomes insane. And I would say that his play rate's pretty bonkers right now. Theorycraft more aggro countering Control Warlock. I might do that. I might Theorycraft like a better Control Warlock, but I just don't think Control Warlock's in a good spot right now. I really don't. It's just by its nature, it doesn't heal enough and it does damage to itself. And because of that, it will never do well against something like Hunter. Like, look at the difference between this deck and Hunter. This deck has Apotheosis, constant 1 mana heals with things like this, or a 5 health heal with Desperate Prayer that also synergizes with doing damage. Like, there is literally no reason to run like anything else. I'll go Thrive in the Shadows to help me thin out my deck a little bit. I like Insight. Insight's pretty nice. Oh, wait, that doesn't synergize with this because it's 2 right now. But we will, I guess, kill the board. We still have Hysteria and Soul Mirror and whatnot. We'll Draconic Studies with our last 2 and see what we get. I'll go with, I guess, a Taunt Minion. I think a Taunt Minion's best, honestly. Because he's a Rush Warrior, right? So if we play a big Taunt Minion, it'll probably be better than a Plague Proto Drake or the 4/9. That's just my own thought process on this. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I'll take 6 damage. What can replace Cthulhu? Many old gods could potentially replace Cthulhu if you have the old gods. Another old god, like I said, it's just your late game closer. Like, I don't know what you could do to replace it. It's how you beat the really, really slow matchups. It's potentially something else that discovers you cards or something. That means this is corrupted, so we can play this. Malagos is fine. What if I put a Raised Dead in this deck so I can get back some of my big win condition cards? It's probably fine. Do I want to go with this or do I want to go with Hysteria? Let's go with this. And then that way we can also just renew. Rally's pretty useless. I don't think Rally gets me anything. Apotheosis is overkill. Oh, he's just done? Yeah, he can't really win at this point. Like, we have this. We're going to finish Cthulhu soon-ish. He's running out of resources. He has nothing but 1/1s in his hand. Didn't really matter what I took. I was leaning towards the 2/6, but either one would have been fine. Obviously, Ysera is not keepable. Is Draconic Studies keepable? Part of me actually thinks no, because the game's not going to go long enough for me to actually, like, get to play the dragon. I mean, I guess this could discover me, like, a 4 or 3 cost, or a 4 or 5 cost dragon that could, like, help me survive a little bit. Like the Taunt, the Amalgam is the one I'm alluding to. I mean, I wouldn't say Cthulhu is your main. This is the one I wanted, by the way. Because I can play this turn 3 and then like this turn 4 or something. It's no biggie. I wouldn't say Cthulhu is your main win condition. I would say that the survival and Ysera and Malagos to just outvalue your opponent and discover a ton of random spells. That's how you win. That's your main win condition. Cthulhu is just your win condition against like slower matchups. Like Cthulhu is not going to help me against Hunter, but it could help me against like Priest or a slow warrior deck or something along those lines. Okay. That'll come online and hopefully hit the Venomous Scorpion when the time comes. I want to play Insight to get me resources. We'll play this turn 3. Hopefully this 5/4 hits this minion, like I said. If it does, that's perfect. If it doesn't, kind of sucks. Let me work my magic. Don't really care. That's a whatever. We go with Renew. It's either Renew or Hysteria. I think Renew is probably best, right? Because it can generate me more resources while also healing me, and it'll be free when I play Palm Reading. Like, Hysteria is good, but I already have one. It also combos well with this. Hit the 1/3, hit the 1/3, hit the 1/3, hit the 1/3. Yes! Okay, perfect. Sick removal. Always balanced. I'm playing a mage deck with minions. Am I trolling? Meh, a little bit. A smidge, some might say. Evening, Mr. Core. Well, good evening to you too, my friend. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I think one less Apotheosis is kind of troll, but I'm not sure. Depending on what he does, I might Hysteria the 4/3 or just Palm Reading with Insight and wait for one turn. Okay. If he plays one more minion, or if he plays 2 more 1/1s, I will Hysteria it. I guess I could just Shadow Word Death that, honestly. Renew. I don't want to take damage. We can discover more stuff later on anyway. I want to save Renew until I know whether or not I get Zorilla. I mean, it's free. I can literally play these Renews whenever I want. It doesn't matter. Because they're free, there is no like pressing, like I need to play it right now kind of thing. Even now, I don't really like need to play it, you know? I could just like play this, get a taunt, play this. But then I'm going to open with Insight. I mean, we got Zorilla off of that. That's great. Right? Now we can go renew, hero power, and then just Zorilla and kill him. Or kill off his minions. Let's actually just do that. Let's just wipe his board. I know that there are better things I could do. Let's go with good removal. Darn, dude. I'm really just looking for, I was really looking for an apotheosis off of this. And then, boom. And then if this dies, we can raise dead and get another one. Not bad. How's it going? It's going pretty well. What's the overlay called? Hearthstone deck tracker. Why did he take Yogg out of the deck? It just wasn't that good in my opinion. I decided to put it in for a raised dead because raised dead I think can get me another minion, which could be just as good value. I mean, Yogg has saved my life, and if you're playing against a lot of slower decks, Yogg might be good. But into a slightly more, like, aggressive matchup, being able to play Raise Dead and get Blademaster Samuro, a Venomous Scorpid, or Zorilla back into your hand could be the difference between, like, winning and losing games sometimes. Because, like, now, me being able to play Raise Dead could be huge. Right? Like, I play Raise Dead. I get Zorilla and Venomous Scorpid back. That's great. We Holy Smite this. We get to generate another spell and still heal up. And now we're just in a good spot. Another Holy Smite will be nice. Heal myself and pass. I don't know. I feel like it's just better to have a slightly more proactive card in the mid-game. Because, like, if you're playing against Control Warlock, you're going to lose anyway. And there are very few other control decks in the meta. And even then, like, I could still win if I randomly discover good cards. Do you think Priest... Or do you like Priest now because last year you said 100 times screw Priest? Well, that was because the entire win condition was Galakrond and then just randomly generate one minion every single turn and there was no real way to play around it. Now, Priest is pretty bad. It has a really low win rate. It's not as oppressive as it used to be. It doesn't have as many, like, problematic cards in my opinion. And I think it's just slightly better. Like, obviously, there's still problems with it, right? It's not a perfect class. It still has a pretty decent amount of RNG. But I think it has a little bit less RNG. Which is, like, exactly what we want, right? Run Vol'jin. Honestly, not a bad idea. Anywho, we heal, play Zorilla, and wipe the board. We know that that last card's a 1-1. Like, it doesn't really matter. We could just play this. Actually, I think we do just play that. We do that, we go palm reading. Or we do this and make him cry. Palm reading's nice. I like palm reading. All of these are pretty useless, but we'll take that, I guess. And then we'll just whoosh the board. Obviously, there are better things I could have done there. I could have taken the thing that does 4 damage, but I wanted to discover a spell because I think that that could have been really good for me. No man crick, that's just draw 2. It's no biggie. Honestly, doesn't really matter at all, actually. Do you use a webcam or your camera to live stream? I use a webcam. True story. Samuro is opt-out in my opinion. Is optional in my opinion. True. Yeah, there's actually a deck list right now that got to top 3 legend like yesterday that doesn't even run Blademaster Samuro and Apotheosis. It just runs like an extra Raise Dead, I think, like, and Yogg or something, or maybe something else proactive like another Devouring Plague. Both of which are fine, by the way. And we'll just wipe, corrupt this, and then play this, honestly. Kind of excited to get a 7-drop. Please don't low roll me. Ooh, pretty sick, if you ask me. I mean, we still have good removal. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Do you want to run the ooze? There are some weapon decks that run you over. I mean, yeah, but until I start playing against them, I mean, no. I've played 15 games with this deck. This is my 16th game. I'm about to be 13-3, sorry. And I've played against one weapon rogue, which I beat because I just healed that much, and one weapon shaman. No, actually, I don't think I played against a weapon shaman. That was with a control warrior. So far, no, I'm 13-3 right now. I'm about to be 14-3. I just played against a warrior. But anyway, the only games I've lost to have been 2 paladins that got really well timed, really broken oh my yogs, and a no minion mage before the nerf that high rolled and basically just like ran me over. And in both of those situations, there's not really much I could have done, I don't think. So this was my 2 cents on all this. I want to play the Crimson Hothead. I mean, no reason to really not play that, right? Venomous Scorpid, get myself a spell. Hopefully we can get like Apotheosis or something. Dude, I'm not even kidding. I just want removal. I mean, I just want healing. Like more reliable healing. But it's okay. We play this. Double Holy Smite this because we can. Heal myself. Trade this. Actually, why would I even trade the 1/1? Just go face. It's a 1/1. Who cares? I've discovered like 6 spells, and I really wanted to discover an Apotheosis or some extra healing, and I've discovered very little. But that's okay. That's fine. He's going to play the Tundra Rhino. He's going to be able to hit the 4/6. It's no biggie. I take 1 damage. I then kill it the next turn. Like, it's no biggie. Do you think in like a tournament setting, targeting Warlock is a good strategy? Because I'd say 90% of people will play it. Talking about playing mid-range Demon Hunter, Face Hunter, and Poison Rogue. I don't think a lot of people play it in a competitive setting. I haven't followed Grandmasters that much at all. But from what I saw, I don't think I saw like anybody playing Control Warlock. Or not 90% anyway. Definitely not 90%. I love Control Priest. I think Control Priest is in a really, really, really good spot right now. Quick Shot trade is fine. He's down to 1 card left. Even if that last card is Tundra Rhino, I think I'm fine. This has to give me Apotheosis. How are you still not giving me Apotheosis? You absolute madman. Wait, does Soulmere win me the game? That'll be 9 plus 5. That's 14 damage. No. Heal. Zarilla. Kill that off. And we get to play Insight. Thin up my deck even just a little bit more. Go face. I mean, even if that last card is Tundra Rhino and Piercing Shot to kill off something and do 6 damage to my face miraculously, I still win. Like, I have lethal just on board. There's nothing you can do. Why no Yogg? Praise Yogg, by the way. I mean, I liked Yogg. Yogg was not terrible, but the problem with Yogg, in my opinion, is just the fact that, like, unless you're going against a mega control deck, it's just not that important. Like, I'd rather have Raise Dead, like I said, to get back a Venomous Scorpid or Zarilla or one of those cards. He does 5 damage, 4 damage to me. We just kill him next turn. That's GG. No biggie. Like, I feel like Yogg would be good in several situations and very easy to pull off, but I just don't like how RNG Yogg is. Whereas Raise Dead, if I use it earlier mid-game, I know for a fact I'm going to get one of the most impactful mid-game cards in Priest. So, I don't know. I like it. Hint, in case it's token, Holy Smite will be good, and it'll become free with palm reading. The only problem that I have right now with that is if it's not, then Holy Smite will be kind of a dead draw. Do I want Holy Smite? Yeah, I'll keep Holy Smite. If it is token, like if it's a slow deck like Clown Druid, I will have time to eventually draw all of my spells. Right? I'll have at least 5 or 6 turns before anything major really happens. Whereas if I played into token, I would rather have this Holy Smite, you know, just on demand. You know, being able to play it. So I can kill off the Gibberling that he leaves up. Okay. Technically clarifies nothing. Why no Elucia? Because Elucia is not good. Can Cthulhu be replaced? I reckon not so much, considering Cthulhu is a win condition. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Games last forever with this deck. I mean, yeah, but it's like the best deck in the game, though. And apparently it was the most played deck at Grandmasters, which I don't know if that's true. I'm taking your word for it, but I don't know. The 6/6 Taunt Elemental that heals 8 is pretty nice. True, I could run that if I wanted to, honestly. That would be a card that I could see myself running. I want to discover a big spell. Palm Reading discovers me more stuff, makes my stuff cost less. Not bad, we'll take that. Top 3 deck plays Lucia. What would you replace it with? I would literally replace it with like anything. I don't even run a Lucia. There are very few matchups where I think a Lucia is actually good. And in a lot of other matchups, I think that Lucia hurts you more because you're going to have more resources than the opponent most of the time. Like, it could work against some sort of combo or OTK deck. Wait, what? The heck? What on earth? I think we go Renew first to discover a spell, and then have that spell get reduced by Palm Reading. I'm gonna go with Hysteria. And then Palm Reading once. I want to go with the Discover a spell, maybe. Because I don't know if it's Clown yet. And if it is Clown, I take this. Or if it isn't Clown, I take this. It's kind of useless. Let's go with Thrive. And pass. What do you think about the Nameless one replacing Lucia? That could be good. I could say running a Silence or a Weapon removal in general would be good. I don't know. I just don't like Lucia that much. Because, like, let's think about the matchups that it would possibly ever be good into. Right? Like, it might be good into a Warlock where you could burn their own cards. That could be an interesting thing you could do. But most of the time, they're going to corrupt it and play well with it anyway. Which leaves you with, like, what? Control Priest Mirror Match? You could screw them over. But, like, if you're playing into an aggro deck, playing a 3-mana 1/3 is just never going to be useful. And when the entire meta is Paladin, Hunter, why would you ever do that? Like, obviously in a competitive setting, if you're playing in the highest of ranks when people are playing more control decks, or people are playing in competitive like Grandmaster, Lucia is like astronomically better because you know what decks people are playing going in, you can play around certain things, but in this particular setting, I don't think it's very good. We're going to play both of these and discover 2 spells. Let's go with another Hysteria. Let's go with Heart of Cthulhu. And then lower all of their costs again with... This is not the worst thing in the world. Apotheosis is okay. Although, then again, I need a minion for it to go on, and I already have Apotheosis in hand. This will be 7 mana. Yeah, I could go with this. I can go with that. What if this gives me, like, Blade Master Samura or something? That'd be insane. This is why we took Heart of Cthulhu, by the way. So we can just wipe the board. We knew that this was coming. I guess technically I could have done that as well and gone for Condemn, but really, I'm not getting that many good, like, removals. Eye of Cthulhu's probably the best, like, removal. Actually, we'll take a Shadow Word Death, just in case he plays, like, Arbor up and pumps something up a ton. The other cards are just not that good, to be fair. Control Warlock, 9. Control Priest, 8. No Minion Mage, 8. Token Druid, 7. OTK Demon Hunter, 6. Miracle Rogue, 5. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're still able to wipe this board, luckily, but it's just going to be slightly problematic. Like, I want to draw a Condemn. Zarilla would be insane. But even if not, we can still probably wipe the board without too much of a problem. It's just going to take a lot of resources. I need to wipe this, though, right now. One, two, 3, 4, or wait, no, it doesn't even cost anything. We can go with this, I guess, now. I mean, if we get Blademaster Samuro off of this, that's great. Or Zarilla, I guess would be fine. Okay. Somewhat lackluster, but it's fine. So we go 1, 2, this, I guess. One, two. As long as this doesn't hit the same, all of these minions one time, as long as it hits one of them twice, I'm happy. Oh, snap. That was actually perfect. And then we'll go with that and see what else we can discover. We'll take another insight. Why not? Still looking for Zarilla or Blademaster Samuro. I have 1600 dust. What do you craft first, Blademaster or Yogg? I mean, Blademaster and Yogg are both optional cards. I don't think that either of them are mandatory, but if I had to choose one, I'd say Blademaster. Personally, that's just my own choice, but you don't have to, obviously. You might just go face here. I'm fine with that. Lunar Eclipse, I'm assuming. What's getting out of hand? What do you mean? Lunar Eclipse is fine. I mean, saying grind to high legend isn't necessarily false. I am grinding to high legend. It's just, you know, taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I'm going to be honest with you. Thought it would be no time at all. If I Soul Mirror, the 5/6 still lives. I could just Hysteria the 5/6. Because Soul Mirror is like a board wipe. Yeah, let's just Hysteria the 5/6 and Tear Apart myself. I guess I could have incited. It's fine if it's not corrupted. Oh my god. I'm drawing so poorly. I'm actually drawing pretty poorly. On the bright side, that means I have like 2 minions left in my deck. I have a 50-50 chance of Idol of Yashraj being Blademaster Samuro. And even if I just draw him naturally, it's not that big of a deal. So, I mean, I'm fine. What deck am I playing afterwards? Face Hunter, it appears. Or Secret Rogue. One of those two. I thought this deck runs Yogg. Dude, everybody's like, Yogg, Yogg, Yogg. And I'm like, Yogg isn't even that good, man. Woo, sheesh. I mean, we might as well just put Apotheosis on this guy at this point and heal up max. Like, what's he supposed to do against that? We still have another one in hand and tons of removal. We're chilling, man. How does this deck compare to Control Warlock? I mean, I'd say it's better than Control Warlock in, like, every single way. I'd say that Control Warlock's not great. I'd say that this deck is amazing. However, does have a bad matchup against Control Warlock. So, like, the head-to-head, fine. I'll give you Control Warlock wins. But in most other matchups, this one would be the optimal. Like, this is my highest win rate deck of the season. I'm currently 14-3 with it, with a pretty decent spread of classes, and it's about to be 15-3. And, like, this doesn't really matter. I'm about to wipe this entire board off the face of the earth. Like, I just Soul Mirror this, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You kill off the weakest one, and then just Soul Mirror. Right? Soul Mirror kills everything. And then we can heal my 12/7. All these things die. No biggie. Let me just heal my 12/7. Make it 12/9 so it's impossible to kill. Good night. Game's over. Yeah, game's basically over. He just needs to concede at this point, yeah. Like, look how good this deck is, man. In none of these games was it even close that I was gonna lose. Like, I was never even sweating. The Hunter deck was the closest, but even then I knew I was gonna win. And the only reason I was sweating was because I discovered 6 spells and got no heal spells. No, I got 1 renew, I guess, technically. But I was looking for another renew, Desperate Prayer, Apotheosis, anything. and I didn't get it. But even then, like, the lowest he got me was 15 HP, and I did 6 of that damage to myself.